On today's episode, we talk about how to deal with gaming nostalgia, and I share details about how you can get free chapters of the Game Quitters Challenge. Hey, what's up guys, Cam here, and today I'm coming at you from Vancouver, BC. Quickly, if you haven't already, make sure you sign up on GameQuitters.com for the email list, which is where I share a lot of different exclusive updates only available through there. Today I'm in Stanley Park, and behind me, you can't really see it, is Lionsgate Bridge, which is really interesting, especially as it relates to this week's episode, because we're talking about how to overcome and deal with gaming nostalgia, which is an issue I see a lot posted on Reddit and on the forum. So what's interesting about this spot is that when I was younger, I actually came here with my uncle after a hockey game I had played in Vancouver, and back then I was really into photography, so we actually came here to Stanley Park and shot some photos. Since then, I hadn't actually been to this park, so it's been about 10 years. And actually the spot I'm standing in right now is really close to where we shot these photos back in the day. So it was really interesting that today my topic was all about overcoming and dealing with gaming nostalgia, which is something that I've experienced a lot throughout my journey, especially over the last 4 years as I've quit, and something many of you watching this will also experience. But it's also just interesting for me to be here right now and to be back in a location where a very important event happened for me when I was younger, because those are some of the best photos that I ever took, and I remember that night fondly. So as many of you guys know, I haven't played a video game in over 1,600 days, and people still ask me, hey Cam, do you still get cravings? Do you get urges like I do? The truth is that I do, but I also think that most of the time they're not actually cravings, they're more just nostalgia. Sometimes it's a feeling in my body, sometimes it's a feeling in my emotions, but it's more of just me remembering the good times that I had gaming and how that was such a cool and just interesting experience in my life that meant something to me. And I've really talked a lot about that before in previous videos about how gaming meant something to you, and you don't have to say that it didn't. You can acknowledge that, but you can still also move on. You don't have to continue to play games just because gaming means something to you. So most of the times it's not a craving I'm experiencing, it's actually just nostalgia. And a good example of this is a couple weeks ago I went to go to bed at night, and I was laying in bed and I was just thinking back to all the good times I had playing games. And I was remembering one game in particular. I couldn't remember the name of it. I just knew it started with a G, and it was a game I played a lot in middle school. So the next day I was on the Reddit forum, and someone had posted a story about their gaming experience, and there it was. In their story, they had played the same game. So now I'm seeing this game with my own eyes. I'm remembering what the name is. Instantly, I started to feel more emotions building up in my body. I started to feel an actual craving. I started to get some urges to play. But in that moment, I didn't need to get too caught up in it. I was sitting in a coffee shop and I just allowed myself to feel what I was feeling instead of trying to escape away from it. So this type of experience is going to happen for you too. And it's important to remember that you don't have to escape from it. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, but the sooner you can accept that there's different phases in your life and that your life is going to go through changes, the sooner these events aren't going to have so much power over you. They're not going to trigger you in the same way. So even today, I'm walking on the sidewalk and I'm remembering the times I was here with my uncle and I was shooting these photos of the bridge. Now those were good times, and during those times I was playing hockey and life was a bit more simple, and life is a lot different now. Neither is good or bad. They're both different chapters of my life. It's just important to always be remembering that you have to accept that your life is going to go through changes, and 10 years ago and 10 years from now, you're going to be doing different things. But the things you're doing at the time also matter, so don't get too caught up in one being better than the other. Don't get too caught up in comparing these phases. They're just different. They're different chapters in your life, and they both have positives, they both have negatives. They have good times, they have tough times, and you're always going to look back on them and have some degree of nostalgia. In the moment, you're also always going to be looking forward to see what else is going to be coming your way. The more you worry on a daily basis, the more nostalgia you're going to experience. Because in some ways, nostalgia is essentially escaping the present moment. And sometimes the memories you're having can be driven from a time where you felt valued. So this definitely applies with gaming, because when you're having nostalgia about gaming, you're most likely thinking about a time where you had friends, you had a sense of community, you felt like you mattered, you felt like you had a sense of purpose, and those are all times where you felt like you were valued. Anytime you're experiencing nostalgia, it's important that you're aware of what kind of state you're in when you're experiencing it. At the time, if you're feeling more anxious, if you're feeling a bit low energy, or you're feeling depressed and you're having nostalgia, it's coming from a place of you trying to escape the present moment. And you'll also experience nostalgia in good times. You'll experience it when you're feeling happy, but you just always need to know what state are you in when you're experiencing it. That's going to help give you an indication of what to do next. Next, there are 3 different steps you can take to deal with this nostalgia. The first is, like we've talked about before, do a gratitude journal. This can help recenter yourself. This can help remind yourself of what you do have right now and what you do appreciate, what you are grateful for. Gratitude is scientifically proven to shift your energy into more optimism and happiness and joy. So that's always a good exercise to do. The next step is to stop comparing then to now. Comparison is a thief of joy. So if you're comparing which phase is better than the other, that's only going to lead you in a direction of kind of feeling not that great about yourself. So stop comparing. Just notice there are two different phases and each has advantages and each has disadvantages. But they're all you and they're all part of your life story, and that's cool. Finally, always be exploring and creating new opportunities and new memories to be nostalgic about. What's important is that in the moment, in the present moment, you're living your life to create new memories that you get to look back on and remember fondly and be proud of, and allow them to put a smile on your face. So always be exploring, be adventurous, be spontaneous, and focus on how can you create an experience every single day that you look back on in 10 years from now and feel proud of. To recap, 3 ways that you can deal with nostalgia. The first is you can always shift to gratitude. Gratitude is scientifically proven to make you feel better. So if you're not feeling great right now, use that. Next, comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing different points in your life to others and just allow the present moment to be what it is. And finally, keep exploring and focus on creating new experiences every single day, every single week, every month, every year that you can look back on and be proud of. So I hope that helps you guys out, and if it does, make sure you guys hit thumbs up, make sure you hit subscribe, and definitely make sure to leave a comment below. The more you engage with me, the more I engage with you. I respond to every comment I get, so if you haven't tried that out yet, definitely do that, and I'd love to say what's up. Next week, I start my US tour. I begin in Salt Lake City, where I'll be doing a talk at Newmont University. If you're in the area, I'm allowed to bring guests, so let me know, and I'd love to have you out. Then I'll be in Colorado, New York City, and all across Arizona, New Mexico, California, Oregon, and Washington. So if you're in any of those areas, let me know. I'd love to say hi. Just this week, I released some free chapters of the Game Quiz Challenge. So if you want to get those, check the link below. And midway down the page, you can grab some free chapters of the challenge. It's the first 5 missions I have that are intentionally designed to help you move on from games and start living a life you're proud of. So definitely check that out. Right before I go, if there's anything that you guys want to see, if there's any questions that you want me to answer that I haven't already in these videos, I'd love to hear about them. I'm looking for new ideas for videos, so definitely hit me up and I'll see what I can do. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, peace.